I'm the highest in the room. Hope I make it out of here. We ain't stressing about the loot. My block made a quesadilla. This not the molly, this the boat. Ain't no coming back from here. Little life a life of me.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 38 of Diamond in the Rough Sports Talk. For today's special guest, we have the very talented Mr. Anthony Rhodes Jr. This young man has his own media company at the age of 17. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I said 17. Let that sink in. Mr. Rhodes, just tell us, how are you and, first of all, welcome to the show, and tell us, how are you and your family holding up during this pandemic thus far?
We're doing very well. My mom's a teacher, so during the summertime, she normally be home anyways, and my dad goes to work just as normal. So it's really just me, my mother, and my brother in the house, just enjoying family time, just bonding. When I have different things, I like to show it to them and get their opinion first, and just bring it to them. Nothing has really changed, honestly, during this pandemic.
Definitely. Well, the floor is not yours.
Yes, sir. I want to give a shout out to Elite Sports, ELITESPORT Sports. Anthony, who inspires you to want to keep up with high school sports and rankings and players?
Well, honestly, no one really truly inspires me to do high school rankings and do sports. For the rankings part, it was more so of a me thing. Like, I was in my room really, and I just came up. I was like, Mom, I'm a compile a rankings list. So I ran in the front and told her. She told me it wasn't gonna be a good idea because people gonna have feelings and thoughts about it. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I ran across a few people and I compiled my first list. But about the sports, it was just a me thing. I've been a sports fan since I was young, and now that I get to really be in this field and get to just do what I enjoy doing, I couldn't see anything better to do.
It's just like myself. It's just like myself. That's why we got Diamond in the Rough Sports Talk. What age did you develop a strong passion for photography? And can you please name some of the elite athletes you have taken photos of, please?
Well, I developed a love for photography at the age of 16. Honestly, about 8 months ago. I don't know if that's exact. But in July, late July, I started working with a campaign, a political campaign, just on helping out in any possible way that I can. And I used to just take phone pictures. And I was like, you know what? My god sister had a camera, so I just asked if I could use her camera. And I just started taking real pictures. And from that, a few weeks after, we went into school. And we had different sporting events, games and stuff. And my photography more so really just took off. People started asking me about games and taking pictures and pep rallies and just different events around school. And from that point, it just started to slowly grow and grow. And athletes I've taken pictures of, Shaz Preston, Jair Brown, Dakotas Crawford, but also not just taking pictures, I made edits for NFL players, college players, other high school players just around the country.
Man, that's great. Man, what you're doing at a young age, you're the next big thing. I can guarantee you. What makes what makes your photography, your videography, your highlights, your rankings differ from other people that's in the same field as you?
The thing that makes me different is the fact that no one does all of the different fields that I do, per se. There are photographers and videographers, and also people do edits. That's his own thing. Yeah, people do that. But not too many people that I know can cross over and do both aspects, that they can record and take pictures of the talent, but also be able to evaluate it and compile these different lists and put them all together and make it into one brand.
Man, that's elite. Man, that's elite. So the field that you're in, Anthony, do you feel that as if this field is your calling? And at what point in your life did you tell yourself this is something that I want to do?
Well, I found out this is my calling. Well, I feel as if this is my calling, and probably in about November, when I really saw the attention and positive feedback I was receiving from just family and friends, and then like my family is very religious based, and we are devout Christians. So just being in church and getting positive feedback from like my pastor and first lady and just other church members, just getting that, like it inspired me and was like, okay, I think it's something I want to do. And then like I said, I always had a love for sports, and it just always made it something that I wanted to do, but now that I can actually accomplish it, makes it worthwhile.
Can you please tell us a few things that comes with making a highlight tape, and who was the first person that you ever made a highlight tape for?
Well, things that come into making a highlight tape, first, my biggest thing is the song. The song really gets it off, because you can have the best highlights in the world, but if you have a boring song, it's not going to be interesting. So I started with the song, and I get the clips, put either the best looking clips or the best plays first, just to get the tone set, and then I just go and just drop plays in order after that. And the first player is a player who goes to my school. His name is DeQuinta Mason. He's a running back. He's in 2021. And then Ramon Stevens. Those are the first two people I made tapes for, and it was just me just like taking a chance. Like I didn't know I could make a tape, and I just got the highlights, compiled it together, and put effects over it, and that was my first highlight tape.
Can you please tell us the grind, the hard days and the hard nights that you have to put in from when you first started to where you at now to have access to be around these elite athletes?
So at first, in the first like latter half of the year last year, when I was just doing photography, it wasn't really like taking off as much. Like I got about 500 followers on Instagram. Well, in January when 707 started, and I started Twitter, and I made my first like taking pictures at like different tryouts for Slime U. Like that's when it really like I realized, okay, what I have could be something special if I develop it right. So from that point, like going through school, like I would have to take breaks because of school stuff, because everything wasn't lined out right, but I had to learn how to manage that. And once I got it right, like once the quarantine happened, like of course the pandemic is a horrible thing, but as far as the quarantine and staying at home and getting schoolwork done, like I could get my schoolwork done, officially done, and get good grades from it in 2 hours, and then have the rest of the time to just focus on business. And then not having to wake up 6 o'clock in the morning the next morning, like I would literally stay up until like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, just thinking about different ways, different edits I could do, just editing different pictures, not even people that I know, just going on the internet and like reaching for people like who have an impact in the city. Like when I was first starting, I was reaching for like I made an edit for Leonard Fournette. He saw it, retweeted it, and liked it. I had an edit for, I'm trying to think, just other big names in the city like Lamar Peters, Tyree Griffin, people like that, who are like legends in the city per se as of recent years, and got them to reach back out and just look and like and retweet, and even Tyree Griffin and Lamar Peters reposted my edit, which is great exposure for me, and it was just on me taking a chance. Then for like my first 707 tournament, we went to Florida. I didn't sleep because like I went and got footage and took pictures that day, and then I looked at them, made videos for the next day so I could get the footage from the first day out of the way. And like they had like roommates, like there's this linebacker named Kobe Cage who was in the room with me.
Yes, sir. I know Kobe Cage. He's from Arizona.
Yes, sir. He was in the room with me, and he was just like, man, like you don't sleep, like my eyes were so red. Then we had the tournament like a few weeks later, which was in New Orleans, the battle tournament. And I edited a video on the spot from the footage that was like an hour before that. So like it's the grind that pays off to get you to this access. Because if people don't see that you're serious, they're not gonna want to mess with you.
Agreed.
But the fact that these people see like, all right, I can give him pictures, and in an hour, 2 hours, he's gonna have them back out. This make people want to mess with you. People respect a hard grind. So I realized what I have to do.
Yeah, you right, bro. Say, bro. Man. You right about everything you said, bro. So what do you like to do more? Do you like the rankings, the videography, the photography, or everything is equal?
I like everything, but my two favorites are edits and videos. Just for the fact that I can be more creative with that. I've been finding different ways to just make different edits that like I haven't seen people make before. Just using different, like getting inspiration from different places, putting them all together, like trying different types of edits out, even videos, trying different effects, transitions. Those are really my two favorites because I can express my creativeness the best.
For my last question, please tell the world, what is your burning desire?
My burning desire is to honestly just like make my family proud and just like inspire people behind me like to come, like who are coming behind me, just to know that like it is possible to do stuff at a young age and really like spark like buzz in the city. Like my family, like just doing stuff just to make them proud. Like there are many other things I could have been doing, like out in the street doing negative things. So the fact that I can really have a business at such a young age that is buzzing, and just see my mom happy when I run to her with good news about this and this. My family just get excited about this. Like it really like makes me excited and make me want to keep going. And then knowing that like when I first started, there was a kid. He's like very younger than me. He was just saying like that I inspired him in photography, and I didn't really see it at first until I got to the point to where I am now, and although I'm not where I want to be, is like the fact that from the list that I dropped, the buzz and the circulation that just went around that, and how much discussion it created in the city that isn't not normally there. Like the reason I do this is to give this light to people who get overlooked. Like although I can't catch everyone, I can't give exposure equally to everyone, I try my best to do that. So that's my desire, just to give a hand to people who might not have it, because like I have a lot of coaches following me. So if I feel that you like have potential this and this, and you give me your huddle and I can share it with people, or you give me your highlight tape, or I make your highlight tape and share it with the world, and it helps get you offers that can bring you to the next level, and now you don't have to worry about finding a way to get to college and this, but you have a free ride, and it all benefits all of us. So now it's just not one of us coming up, but all of us coming up. Like
Sure.
It's really like heartwarming for me to do that.
Yeah, that's touching, bro. That's touching, bro. The ref is on you.
So, as you mentioned earlier about the list that you made, I believe it was the top 10 football players in the city of New Orleans. Tell me about Logan Diggs, who you had as your number one player. What is it about him that made him number one on your list?
Logan is, in just one word, like he is a special player to me. For like there are people that could have been number one, like arguably, like it could have been a list of players, but he was my number one because like just looking at his stats and watching him play, he is a dominant player, and on the team that he was on last year, he had almost 1,000 yards rushing. Sharing the load with a senior running back who is bigger than him, and having arguably the best player in the city on his team at Donovan, who plays both offense and defense, with the quarterback who I had was the number one quarterback in the city at Cairo. Like on that team, him getting that much running, like that means every time he gets the ball, he's making the most out of it. And like he's dominant, like he's a great pass blocker. He can catch out the backfield. He has underrated speed. He has a size, like he can like rumble and get those extra yards.
Definitely. He's one of the things I appreciate about his game is his patience.
Yes.
He can kind of remind me of a little Le'Veon Bell kind of, and also with that athletic ability, in open field you see him hurdling people and different things of that sort. So you also made a basketball list in which you had Carver as one of your top teams. So just tell us about some of the players that we should look out for next year on Carver's team.
Well, first two names come to mind are Solomon Washington and Dorian Finister. Those are two class of 2022 players. Solomon is, I was about to give a height, but I don't know exactly, but he's very tall. And Dorian is like 6'4", 6'5". And those two together can literally like carry a team. And they have pieces around them that make them like really the dominant force in the city. Like, and those two being young, they have time to develop and grow, gain muscle, like develop their attributes as players. Like they're going to be a scary force.
So do you see a championship in the near future for Carver?
Yes, sir, most definitely. I feel like if the dice were rolled differently this year, they probably could have won the championship this year, making it to the Final Four. They probably could have won this year. So next year, with a more experienced team, I feel like next year is their year for sure.
Definitely. Now, as you may know, in the cards is we'll be playing American Heritage next year. Just tell us how you see that matchup going, and what do you see from American Heritage if you gotten a chance to look at them?
I have not been able to like fully look at American Heritage, but what I see from the game is like I've heard things, read things, but I've not physically watched them.
Right.
But like I know they're a great team. And what I see is that that matchup, I feel like it's going to be a good matchup. But I feel like American Heritage has an edge because of the inexperience at quarterback that Carr is going to have because of the loss of Leonard Kelly. Not that he like carries a team, but like that leadership that comes at the quarterback position, that he can game manage and get the ball where it needs to be and handle the game properly. I feel like they're going to lack that, which at an end is going to like cause them a disadvantage. Even though A.J. Samuels, who is projected to be their quarterback for Carr, is a great talent and one of the top freshmen, I believe, in the state. Right. But like I feel like that that lack of inexperience is going to weigh them down some.
Now, they have a great defense as well. You know, so could you possibly see their defense willing them to win in that first game?
Yes, sir. I definitely see that. People like Ty G, because like Ty G Hill, who can stop the run, and like I feel like he'll be a good pass rusher for them. Definitely. As far as like playing both avenues, which can clog up that lane, which means that they're going to have to probably either throw the ball more or have quick releases. And they have people like Destin, who y'all had on here relatively recently, right, who can like make plays all across the field. So
all over.
I feel like those two, on top of the other players that they have, they can win the game defensively. Right.
Now tell us about Jack Beck. You know, I see you did some coverage on him. You know, the talented receiver out of St. Thomas More. Do you see him? What type of senior season do you see him having? And honestly, with all the talented receivers in the state of Louisiana, do you see him as number one?
Well, for Jack is really like a special talent. Like just watching him play, like watching his highlight tape, he can do anything from go up and get the ball and then get the ball in the screen and outrun everybody on the defense and have a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Like those two combinations like are deadly for him. And as far as the top receiver, I don't know about the top receiver. Like it would be a close race, but he's definitely up in that conversation. Like he is a real special talent.
So tell us what it was like interviewing Mr. Tyree Thompson, who is a professional baseball player. Tell us what it was like interviewing someone of that caliber.
Just the thing I got from it, like he's a very inspirational person. Meaning that like his story, like I never realized that he came straight out of Edna Carr, which is a public school, straight into a draft and get picked up by a team, the Texas Rangers. Like I never realized, like I didn't even think that was possible as far as down here baseball wise. And just hearing him, interviewing him, like he shows a lot of love. Like when he meets edits and things like this, with his big platform, like he comes to me, asks me for edits, this and this. If they have a video in the lab, I'll go and record a video with them. Like he shows, like he really gives back to the community. Like even just he might show up at like different baseball practices that I've seen, or just different kids working out and give them pointers and show love and take pictures and this and this. Cause like he is also a New Orleans legend in his own right in the baseball aspect.
Definitely. And I saw you also did an interview with Mr. A.B. Slode as well. Just tell us, in your opinion, what makes him so great with the type of training he does, and what would you say separates him from other trainers?
Well, AB, he has a lot of high energy during his training. Like he gets you, he makes you want to train more. Like he motivates you. Like he's gonna push you to reach your limits and be your best. And I think separates him is that he does not only just like the football training aspects of it, but he does like agility training and speed training and get your body right, that you have the balance that you need to be able to make these plays in football. because yes, you can have the footwork, you can be able to catch the ball and run, but if somebody tackle you, he works on things like having steady balance and be able to recover. That way that if you get bumped on a 20-yard run, you can make it a 100-yard run and score the touchdown. So I think that's what makes him elite, is that he has all aspects of it. And that he really, he played the game to know how to teach the game and help people, not only reach what he was, but do better than what he was. And just inspire people to come, because he works with you from young ages. So if he can work with you and build you up and build you up and build you up, you are going to be great. If you have it in you to be great, he's going to make you great.
Now tell us about the Curtis and Rummel matchup. As you know, the game last year went down to the wire. It came down to Rummel making a play at the in the goal line. Tell us how you see that matchup going this year. As I said, it's going to be, those two teams always are at the top of the Catholic League. It's a very, very, very vital game. It has a lot of importance. And last year you saw it was for the number 1 seed. So just tell us how you see that matchup going. And yeah,
I think that game is going to have probably similar, if not the same implications this year, meaning it's for the number 1 seed in the Catholic League. And I feel like Rummel is going to get the edge again this time. But what I'm hearing from Curtis players and coaches is to have a lookout for them, because they're being slept on because they lost their running back, Corey Wren. But to keep an eye on them, because they have athletes that are upcoming and that can make the plays. But I just feel that Rummel, with their quarterback and their running back combo, and then their defense, they still have some elite defensive players that they have. I feel like they're going to make the plays and slightly edge out Curtis, but it is going to be a great competitive game.
For my last question, tell us where you see your media company within the next 5 years. What is your vision?
My vision for my media company is to just continue to grow and be at a point to where I can really give exposure to not only just the city, but to the state, and maybe even larger than just the state, throughout the country, throughout the South. Just continuing to grow, network, meet with different coaches and players, that I'm not just a media just recording this and not just doing rankings. But if you need anything, I can be the person to connect you with coaches and stuff. Connect you with coaches, get you these meetings, help you get workouts where you have these people, just give you a bigger platform. Just as I grow my platform, be able to reach and give out back to others and help them use my platform and get where they want to be. And as well, do business and get contracted with other companies as far as rivals. I just recently joined the Formula Scouting team, which is an up-and-coming scouting forum. Just thank you. Just helping give a platform to these players, because the formula is rooted in northern Louisiana, but me being in New Orleans gives a different aspect to those players. So the form that we're going to take at the formula is basically just growing and helping develop athletes and give them a different platform. But as I grow, hopefully to do business with people like Rivals and 24/7 and Under the Radar, and I've been actually in talks with these people about possibly doing things and just keeping in contact with these people in these high places in hopes for positive things to come in the future.
Definitely. So can you tell us your social media platforms? Tell our viewers your social media platforms.
On Twitter, it is Anthony Rhodes Jr., all lowercase, and on Instagram it is Anthony Rhodes Jr. as well. Those are my 2 platforms. But mainly, if you want to get in contact with me, use Twitter.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude this episode of Diamond in the Rough Sports Talk. Thank you.